All right, so it's the time of year where people are going to be getting new gaming PCs, be it a pre-built or maybe getting the final components or the money to buy the final components to put together a gaming PC. And before you get gaming on it, I'm going to give you 5 tips, things that you should do to make sure that your gaming experience is as good as it could possibly be. And before we get started, let me know your PC tips down in the comment section below. All right, starting off with tip number 1, and this is for pre-built systems, it's for custom built systems, any Intel system and especially AMD systems, you need to make sure that you set your RAM to its XMP or docp profile. So we all know Ryzen likes really fast RAM, and to make sure that your RAM actually runs at that 3600 megahertz or mega transfers per second that's stated on the package, you actually have to go into your BIOS and set it to run at that speed. If you don't do that, then it's going to run at the default speed for DDR4. Now to test and see if your memory has already been set, all you need to do is go into your task manager, click on the performance tab, click on the memory button, and you should see what the rated speed or what the speed is running in the task manager itself. Now, if it's not set to the rated speed on the specs for the memory, just go into the BIOS and make the change for the XMP or docp profile. Unfortunately, it's a little bit different for each motherboard, so I won't cover it here, but you should be able to Google how to do that. And also keep in mind, if you do have a pre-built, some pre-built companies consider this to be overclocking, which technically they are right. However, it could void your warranty and or make a situation where they won't support you unless you revert the changes. So just check with them first before making the changes, or YOLO it, whatever, it's your money. All right, moving on to step number 2 is updating your GPU driver. Now, when you install Windows yourself, it'll actually download a driver for you, and usually it's either a very old driver that's available online, or it's going to be just a basic VGA driver. At any rate, it's going to be not a very good playing experience for you, and you may wonder why you got this brand new computer that runs like garbage. Well, it's the driver. So to find the driver for your graphics card, just Google your graphics card name plus the word driver, click on the manufacturer's website, go through the search options, and you should be able to download the driver. Once the driver has been downloaded, just double click the exe, run through the wizard, and you should be off to the races. Now, even if your graphics driver does not prompt you to reboot your system, I always like to reboot my system after I update the drivers just to make sure there's no funny or wonkiness going on, because sometimes that will still happen to where you'll install a new driver, however, it doesn't completely change all the files because you haven't rebooted yet, and you get a couple of weird issues out of it. Now, for you guys that bought a pre-built, you may be thinking to yourself, well, I just got this from the manufacturer, I got it from Best Buy, I got it from Walmart, etc. Just keep in mind, most of these are built well in advance and then shipped out, or you walk into a store. It's probably been sitting on the shelf for a while, and I'll guarantee you that there's a better driver available for you. And while you may not have a ton of performance issues out of it, you're not going to be running on the driver that has all the performance issues and all the bugs fixed, if we can say latest drivers have the bugs fixed. All right, so you got your GPU set, you got your RAM set. The next thing that you're going to want to do is actually go through the computer and remove any unwanted applications. Now, unwanted applications, they don't generally hurt the computer, but they do take up disk space, and occasionally they will actually start in the background. So if you have enough of them on there, it could potentially cause you a problem, but really it's just best practice to go through and remove anything that you're not using. So to remove the applications is actually pretty easy. Just right-click on your Start button, choose Settings from the menu that appears, and then click on Apps. From there, just scroll through the list at the bottom of the screen for any apps that you may want to remove, click on them, and click the Uninstall button. Now, do be careful of what you're removing on here. While the system will still boot, removing things like the C++ redistributables and other items like that could actually make your games not work, and you would have to reinstall your games to get them to work again, or reinstall the whatever program you had taken off of there. Typically speaking, you'll be okay from a computer standpoint, but always just Google, find out what the application is before you remove it, and when in doubt, just leave it there. You'll be okay. All right, moving on to number 4 on the list, mouse acceleration. You want to make sure that you turn off mouse acceleration, or what they're calling now enhanced pointer precision. Now, what this is basically as you move your mouse, the faster you move your hand, the faster you move your mouse. And if you just think of it like that, you'd think, why would I ever want to do that? I could get quick twitch shots and everything else when I'm gaming. Well, it's kind of the opposite. Because your hand's going to move at a different speed every single time, you're never really going to develop muscle memory because the mouse is going to move different distances every single time that you move it. So you'll want to turn this off, that way it doesn't mess up your aim in games. Now to remove it, it's actually pretty simple. It's just a checkbox, as long as you know where the checkbox is. Just right click on your Start button, click Settings, and this time we're going to click on Devices, and then click on Mouse. From there on the right hand side, click on additional mouse options and then click on the pointer options tab on the menu that shows up. From there, just make sure enhanced pointer precision is not checked and you're all set to go. Mouse acceleration is disabled and now you have no one to blame for your bad aim but yourself. And hackers. Definitely hackers. All right, and for the last item on the list here, we have refresh rate. So this one's not necessarily your computer, but if you did get a high refresh rate monitor, like 144 Hertz, 165 Hertz, 240 Hertz, etc., you want to make sure that you actually go in and set Windows to actually use that frame rate. So to fix this, once again, pretty easy if you know what you're doing. Just right click anywhere that you have some free space on your desktop, click display options, and then from there, click on advanced display options. Down at the bottom, you'll see a menu there and you just click the refresh rate for your monitor. Generally speaking, I would say use the fastest that's available. Now, if you don't see that option available, it means you're on an older version of Windows 10, but not to fear. Just click the link above and then click on list all modes, and then you'll need to pick the resolution and the refresh rate that you would like to use. All right, and those 5 things are something I do on every PC that I build, be it for somebody that was purchasing from me, or if it's a flip, or just somebody asked me to build them a PC. I always do those things to make sure that things run smoothly. So if you got further questions about anything, leave a comment or join the PinkyTech Discord server. We're really trying to grow a nice community there of PC enthusiasts that can help out new and old builders alike. Follow me on the rest of my social media, and as always, guys, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.